What's going on, YouTubers? This is Dre from Blacksmith RC coming at you one more again. Today we are working with some outer Injora portal covers. These little things right here. This is what we're going to do. We've got a few things to talk about in this video. But first thing you see, I took a screw out of here. We're going to take all this off, and then we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of this video. Now, one thing about these Injora outer portal covers, you're not going to need these little screws ever again. So now we've got the screws off. We're just going to pop this out. Pretty much you got to take the tire off and everything, and we're going to talk about that too. And once you take that off, I get my camera clear. That's what you got in there. Now we're going to just turn this upside down. We're going to drop that out. You guys look in there, it's got a pin going through that spindle. That's what I'm going to call it. So we got to get that out. The best way to do that is push in a little bit here. Since you already took the pin out there, you're going to push that in a little bit and get that second pin come out a little bit. Hopefully you guys can see what I got going on here. We're going to take our needle nose, get in here and grab that little pin and pull it out. There's the pin. We're going to put that there. There it is. Now we're going to just slide this out of here just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we've got two bushings in here. These are not bearings unless you want to upgrade. They come with bushings. And I probably should upgrade them now, but the bushings seem to be doing well. That's what I'm going to work with. Okay, we're going to just pry this out. Well, that side you could probably push in, but this side we're just going to pry it out. Go around a little bit. I mean, it is a bushing, so you don't have to worry about messing it up. So there's one down, and this one here, we're just going to turn it upside down, push it in from this way. Well, I can hold on to it. Alright, now we've got both bushings out. Won't need this, won't need these little black screws anymore. Get those out of the way. Now we are going to put these bushings right back in. They are the same size. So we're just going to drop those in there. Push them down. They're not going to be 100% flush, but that's okay. Now these do add total, I think they're about 45 grams. 45 grams to your front end. Now this particular setup in this K5, FMX K5 Blazer, it gives me roughly about 61, 48, 49, so it's almost perfect as far as that goes. We've got our bearings in there. We're going to put this little piece right back through this side here, like that. And we're going to have to put our pin back in there. Let's see if we can make this short work here. Hopefully so. There's our pin. Trying to slide out. Well, it should be a little difficult, but we're going to handle that. Adversity has nothing on us RC technicians. It's part of what we do. Line this joker up really good. Right there. Slide that pin right back in there. There we go. Got our pin in. And we're going to put this little gear right back on there. It's nice and snug in there, just like that. Now, we're just going to take this outer portal cover and slide it right back in there. Just like that. Now we've got her in there. Now, all we have to do now is get the screws that come with it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use the drill for this because that is plastic that I'm putting these screws into. So once I get those screws in, be right back. All right, we got one last screw. Kind of did this in a star pattern because, you know, that's what technicians do. We use star patterns on our rigs just like auto mechanics use on the real cars. So I did this by hand, so because it is tightening down into the plastic. Okay, take it out with the drill. Anything that you're going to put metal into plastic, I would always say hand tighten it so you don't strip out anything and it's not binding at all. So now we're going to put our pin back in. Then I'm going to show you another trick. All right, fellas, we have got the pin back in that spindle coming out. We have the Injora brass portal outer covers mounted, screwed in hand tight. Now, with this particular build, I am not using deep dish wheels. There's nothing wrong with them, but I'm not using them. I'm just using some of these off of eBay. And the problem that you run into when you've got a beadlock wheel like this, it's not going to fit on once you put that little single black spacer, black hex on there. It's really just not going to work. So there's two ways you can do this if you want to use just regular aftermarket wheels. Okay, first thing, you take you just buy you another set of hexes and you put the first one on there. Make sure that it's seated on that pin really good, just like that. And then this is the most expensive way to do it, probably the way most people are going to do it. This is the way that I am running it on the front of mine. I'm going to get me a little glue. This is super. Just going to put a little glue on there just like that. Doesn't take a whole lot. As you know, that guy made the song just a little bit. That's all you're going to need. And then, like I said, if you go ahead and buy another set of the plastic hexes, take that second hex. We're going to turn it the opposite way, just like this. I'll do this kind of quickly before that glue sets. I'm just going to shave off that right there so it can be flush against the wheel. Kids, be careful if you're watching this. Alright, that is nice and shaved down. I'm going to put that hex right on there and match it up just like that with the original one that's on there. And that's what you're going to have. You're going to have the double hex. The reason why you're doing the double hex is because you're using aftermarket wheels. Now, as long as that stays glued to that, you can take that off just like that, and that's what you're going to have. Now, that is the most expensive and easiest way to do that for aftermarket wheels. Now, the other way, if you don't want to do that, you want a little bit more strength. Say you've got maybe a brushless motor, something like that. You can take one of the regular SCX24 brass double, well, not double, but brass hexes, the extended hexes. You can drill your hole out. This is not perfect, but this was just for demonstration purposes only. Drill you a hole that will fit the FMX. You can take that and put it right in there and give you that extension that you need. So that's a little bit more expensive. The brass hexes cost a little bit more. You got to get yourself I used a 5/32 bit to drill that hole. You can do it that way if you need more strength. A lot of this is still plastic. I try to keep it as stock as possible. So I'm not going to go with the brass one in the front. I'm going to go with the plastic one in the front because now we have more weight up there. So we're going to line that up. Make sure our pin is where it needs to be. Put that on there. Bada bing, bada boom. Just like that. Now, any aftermarket wheel should fit on that second hex pretty good. I'm going to get it on there. Just like that. Make sure that we're seated. And you still have enough. Get in here. You still have enough to put that that locking hex nut on there. Still enough. So that's what we're going to do next. Put that locking hub on there. Just going to turn them to the side. Screw that down in there. Not too tight, but tight enough. Make sure we still have some play. That feels a little too tight, so we're going to back it off a little bit. Just a taste there. So we get, that's what we want right there. Yeah, I've taken the battery out so the strap is falling over. So let's get that out of the way. There we go. So yeah, that's what we want. Not too tight, but tight enough. Still can go a little looser. And I would also suggest putting a little blue Loctite on here. That's it. You don't want to bind up anything. You don't want to stress it out. Oh yeah. Just enough where it turns that other wheel. There you go. As you guys can see, I've got the other one on there. So that's what we're going to wind up with, that double portal axle. We do have a little extension on there. Like I said, you can go with the brass, and that's what I'm going to do in the back because it does change the width. You guys can see how much that screw is right there. How much that hex goes down on that spindle. I'm going to back that off. There we go. Now look at there, I've got another plastic. So we're going to pull that plastic one off. We're going to put that brass one on for the SEX24. Make sure it seats in there just like that. There you go. Now like I said, aftermarket wheels with that hex, no problem. So that's another different style wheel. Fits on there the same. So I guess you're asking why plastic in the front, brass in the back. Well, I've got more weight in the front now, so I don't want to add rotating mass. So, oh, wrong one again. There we go. We're going to put this on that back tire there. I'm going to put our nut back on it. Once I get it in there. As I've said, not super snug, but tight enough to stay on. Okay. Oh, that wasn't on at all. What did we do wrong? There we go. Now it's seated in there. just going to turn it to the side so I can make sure everything, so that hex just drops down in. Use some good old gravity there. There it goes. That's what it looks like. Like I said, I didn't use any blue Loctite because I'm, demonstrating this. But I will before I actually go run this thing. But there you go. That's what it's going to be like. The Injora portal axles on the front, giving a little bit more weight. Giving it a little bit more 60-40. You guys keep making it do what it do. And I'll catch you on the next video.